Hey everybody, I can't believe it's been a year, but it's been a year since my last How I Live Cheaply Every Month budget video. So I thought I would do another one. My expenses have either gone up or gone down in the last year. Can you guess which? You'll find out. It's pretty obvious if you're a person living in the United States at this time, which it is. So I just wanted to briefly introduce myself if you are new here. I'm Do-It-Myself Peg. I like to be independent and self-sufficient as much as possible. And I've always said I'll do it myself when I was a little kid and everything. I don't like people doing things for me if I can do it myself. Of course, I hire things out like oil changes and all sorts of mechanical type stuff that I just don't know how to do. So let's get started on my monthly budget video. And I do still live very cheaply, even though you can probably guess what happened to my budget this past year. Okay, let's start with my housing. I own my townhouse, so I don't have a mortgage. I don't pay rent. That is a huge way I can live cheaply. And I understand this is not the case for many people. And I feel very fortunate. I've been self-employed most of my adult life. And at one point I could get a mortgage. I could, provide my income statements and 1099s or whatever. And then they changed that to where I didn't qualify for a mortgage anymore because my income was so low. And I've never made a ton of money, but I'm a good budgeter. I can use what I have and live off of it. I made it work, basically. And I continue to live that way, even though now I'm bringing in with Social Security a lot more money than I had in a long time. I'm thrilled. I paid into it, even as a self-employed person, I paid my share. The company usually pays half of that. I had to pay my half and the company half because I was the company. So I did that right. I paid into self-employment, Social Security. And so anyway, I own my house, my townhouse, and that is a huge amount that I don't have to pay every month. And I'm very grateful for that. I do have some expenses related to it though, which we'll touch on later. And I have a 2013 Toyota car. It is paid for. I bought it used. It was 5 or 6 years old when I bought it. And I'm hoping it lasts me forever because a car is not a status symbol or anything for me. I just want it to run, and it does. I have to get some repairs done occasionally, but not very much because it's a Toyota. So I don't have a car payment or a lease payment for a car. That's also a huge way I can live cheaper. Okay, now I'm going to start with my fixed monthly expenses. These are things that just to live in my townhouse, I have to pay for because they're not free. And they're my responsibility. So things like water. I love having water when I turn the faucet on. Take a shower. I've got water. I can wash my clothes in my washing machine. It's great. So my water per month is about $24. And I know that's cheap. That's just the water. It's not the sewer also. It's just the water. I have 2 different bills I get. Last year, I wanted to report if things went up or down. Last year, my water was closer to 20. It was a little under 20. So it's gone up $4 in a year, which I'm fine with. My sewer is $21 a month, and last year it was $19. So it's gone up $2. Do you see a trend here? My trash has stayed the same at $19 a month. It includes trash pickup and recycling, which I really like. And that's for once a week. Electricity. I talked about the solar program that I'm in through my utility company. And I do not have solar panels on my roof. but I'm in a solar program that I paid into, and it started out about $58 a month several years ago. Last year, I was paying about $61. This year, it's $63. $2 increase. I'm fine with that. My internet has been a bane of my existence. I think I'm paying too much for internet, and I got all kinds of great suggestions, but there are limited options where I live. I tried T-Mobile home internet. The reception was not good here at my house. So I had to get rid of that. I think I lasted 6 months, but I was having to reset the modem 2 or 3 times a day. It would just stop. It was awful. So I use another, it's cable. It's like, comes into my house, which is a better connection, I guess. And it is decent internet. But last year it was $82 a month. Now it's $84. And it had been for a couple months $95. But they said to keep checking their website and they may have discounts. So I checked about a month ago and they had the same exact plan for $84 instead of $95. Why couldn't they just give me that? I had to actually go in and select it and order that. It was so stupid. I hate that kind of business model. They should give us the cheapest that they can. It drives me crazy. So I pay $84 a month for internet. And my cell phone has not changed. I still use Mint Mobile. It's still $20 a month. I pay it up front for a year, so it's $240 for 1 year. It's wonderful. I love it. If you can get T-Mobile in your area, Mint Mobile works. I think they use the T-Mobile towers. And it has a great international plan. If I go to Canada or Mexico, I have free internet. It's like 3 gigabytes a month. And if you're only there for a few days or 1 day or whatever, it's plenty. And then if you go to another country, you can go to their website and see if they have service there. And when I went to England and Ireland, I was able to buy Minternational minutes, and I think it was $20 for 10 gigabytes, and that over a 7-day period or something like that, 10-day period. It was 10 days. And it worked great. It was wonderful. I didn't have to do a eSIM through Airlo or whatever. I used my Minternational pass through Mint Mobile. It was great. So I really love Mint Mobile. And I have a link in the description below. If you want to sign up, you get a discount, and I get a discount at no extra cost to you, if you want to do that. I have a couple more fixed expenses that are the same every month. The next one is streaming services for my TV, pointing to my TV. Last year, I spent $33 a month on this. I had Netflix, Apple TV, and BritBox. I have gotten rid of Apple TV and BritBox, and now I have Hulu and Netflix. And those two are about $30 a month. So I'm spending $3 less in this category. That's great. For health insurance, I'm over 65, so I have Medicare. I pay the same as just about everybody else, unless they're very high earners, and then they are charged more. But most of us pay for Medicare Part B $203. Last year, in 2025, it was $185 a month. So that has gone up $18 for Part B premiums. Then I have a plan in supplement plan, and it is now in 2026 $89. Last year it was $83, and you know, things go up, so that is $6 more. So last year in 2025 I was paying $268 for my Medicare premiums, my health insurance premiums, basically $268. This year I'm paying $292, so that's an increase of $24. Okay, now I'm going to talk about a variable category. I'm lumping together groceries, gasoline, eating out, and incidentals, because I don't know, I did that last year. It really caused a ruckus in the comments. People were, saying, what about gas? It's like, I put it in there. I said that, and I put it in the, there's a graphic at the end with all of this laid out, and it was included there. Maybe I didn't say it. I think I did. I apologize if I didn't, but I'll put links to my 2025 monthly budget video and my follow-up video that I did in relation to all the comments I got. And I appreciate the comments. I wasn't as clear as I should have been, so this year I'm going to be crystal clear. In this category, groceries, that's the first thing. I am putting down $200, which is a lot. That's a lot more than last year. I think I said 160. And it is variable. Some months I might spend $250, and the next month I might spend $120 because I shop the sales and stock up, and some months I just don't buy that much. Just fresh produce and, whatever. So, groceries, $200. The next category in this little category is gas. And I have a 2013 Toyota car, and it gets really good gas mileage. It's a hybrid, has an electric battery and a gas engine. So for that one, I put down $30 a month for gasoline. I don't spend that normally, but sometimes I do. Like every once in a while, if I drive more, because I don't drive very much, I need to fill up twice in a month, like in the first week of the month and the last week of the month or something. But generally, I fill up one time, and last week I got gas. It was $23. So I just put down 30, kind of padded it a little. Then eating out. I put down $30. That is more than I normally spend, but on the average, that might be about it. I don't know. I don't eat out hardly ever when I'm traveling, but I'm not including travel in this monthly budget video because that's extra. I have savings for that. It's not a monthly expense. And then incidentals, I put down $60 because I am getting acupuncture treatments. I go once or twice a month. Depends on when I go, what it costs, but that's for that sort of expense. So for this category that includes groceries, gasoline, eating out, and just incidentals that may or may not crop up every month, this year my total is about $320. Last year it was $300. And again, both of those were variable. They were never the same 2 months in a row or 2 months out of the year. But that was an increase of $20. My next expenses are things that I pay annually, but I broke it down what it would be if I paid monthly, which it would be more because I pay annually to get a better rate. So what the cost would be monthly. So my car insurance and my home owner's insurance I have through the same company. Auto Owners is the company. And it's not just auto insurance. The company is called Auto Owners, but they also underwrite homeowners insurance and auto, and possibly more things. I don't know. But I have them bundled, so I have a better deal. I pay them once a year, the lump sum, and I get a better rate for that, which I like getting a better rate. It's kind of like my Mint Mobile. I get a better rate for paying that all at once. And it's just one less thing to have to think about each month. So I really like it. So my car insurance last year was $825 for the whole year. That broke down to $69 a month. This year it's $821. I don't know why. That's $68 a year, so I saved $1 on my car insurance. My homeowners, however, went up. Last year it was $700, which was $58 a month if you broke it down. This year it's $1,103 for the total for the year, and that works out to $92 a month. And that's an increase of $34. So basically between the two, it was an increase of $33. So another expense I have, so that's, I was talking about not having a mortgage. Well, I do have homeowners insurance because, if there were a fire or, something, like I had hail damage at one point and the insurance company paid to have my place the roof recoated because we have flat roofs, and repaired because there were some holes, but I didn't have to replace the roof. But they paid for that, plus to have my house painted because it got all kinds of hail damage. The paint was chipped and stuff. So I don't like paying for, homeowners insurance, but it comes in handy when you do have a problem. And it's, it's better than having to pay for it yourself out of pocket. And the next thing I have with home ownership is property taxes. Last year, my property taxes for the year were $820, which breaks down to $69 a month. This year, they went up to $860, which breaks down to $72 a month. So it's an increase of $40 a year or $3 a month. And also, with owning my townhouse, I live in an HOA community where there's a homeowners association. That's what HOA stands for. And that has stayed steady last year and this year at $61 a month. And I know that's cheap. I've lived in other HOA communities and it has been higher in all of them. So last year in 2025, my monthly expenses were $1,080. This year, they went up. And they went up by about $86. So the total is $1,166 a month. And that's okay. I know it's really cheap to live here in the US, and I don't feel deprived in any way. I have everything I need and a lot of things I want. So I think I have a good life. I didn't include clothes. I just realized that, because I shop at thrift stores for just about everything. So I'm going to put up the graphic as promised to show a detailed list of all of these expenses. And for the total for the year is $13,992. And thank goodness I get more than that through Social Security, and I have my YouTube income. Thank you very much. It's variable as well. I do surveys. I sell things on a print-on-demand site. Occasionally I get paid for that. I like working. I like earning money. Just all kinds of little bitty dinky streams of income that add up to where, it's kind of fun money type thing. I don't put it in a separate account or anything, but I know I'm okay, and it's a great feeling. I remain frugal because it lets me travel. It lets me do anything I want, which I don't have big wants, so that helps a lot. Thank you so much for watching, and if you'd like to share anything about your monthly budget, I'd love to hear it. And if you don't want to, that's okay too. But I appreciate you being here, and I will see you next time.